floor heater. Hey, everybody!
Hello.
Welcome to Friday.
Friday.
It's the Friday. The Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. I can handle that. I hope everyone is having a super lovely Friday morning here. We are a little scattered this morning.
We're scattered, yes.
But I wrangled up the toolers for our hour here this afternoon. Did I do all right, guys? Did I wrangle here?
You wrangled well.
Is it? It's barely morning. I think people start serving lunch about 30 minutes ago. Which always makes me upset on the weekends because I'm not ready for lunch yet and I would really like breakfast at noon. But nobody offers that unless you're walking.
You certainly have your own set of issues.
I think you can get breakfast anytime at Sonic. Let's go to the early bird. Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. I know. Okay, there are options, but I can't get a McGriddle after 10:30. So.
Sorry, Liz just wanted to make excuses, and I wasn't going to let her. Don't make excuses. Find solutions.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, I think I got Looney wet.
Oh, she gonna run away?
Loon, did I get you wet? Sorry.
Alrighty, well, it
she knows
is.
she's getting ready to hammer time, so she's
Oh, yeah, that's not her favorite time.
Oh, she doesn't like that?
No, she doesn't really like it when you make noises. So it is the last Friday of the month. Here, February is already over. So that's, I guess we have a few more days.
Isn't it?
It sure is.
February is a short month. I wonder why that is. Who made up this calendar deal?
Right? You think that at the end of the year you'd make up for your days, not the second month into the year.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Chinese have it right with their new year. Like, however that happens for them. I need to look into that a little bit more, but they're celebrating that right now.
Yeah, and they celebrate New Year's for a month. We have one lousy day.
I know. Just
day.
one. Why don't we have a whole
So
month?
they only have an 11-month year then.
They do. Doesn't that
New
sound nice?
New Year's Day is 30 days long.
Alrighty, well, it is trading cards. So Denny and Kevin, Denny actually came up with quite a fun little design that we'll show you here in a little bit. We'll probably need all these things to not be right in the way of the camera. Yeah, maybe. That'd be nice.
Maybe.
So Denny's got a nice swirly chicken neck. He's got mini swirls, yes. Mini swirls.
I have 0 swirls.
But Kevin decided to do a wallet back today for his trading card. So we're going to see something interesting.
Look at that. Kevin's cutting
He's freehanding a line.
Free-handed line around there and doing a nice job of it, too.
Well, because he places his finger right on the edge of the leather, and then you just hold your hand in the exact same position, and then nothing moves.
I thought everybody did that.
The rest of us use wing dividers.
Well,
So
Kevin, you're so used to doing
stuff. That's what I do.
everything with nothing that now you can do absolutely anything with nothing.
You know, this may be really challenging. I haven't done one of these in a long time, so I guess I just will.
do we know what you're going to do yet?
I don't even know what I'm going to do yet. How can you know?
Okay, he hasn't done one, and he doesn't know what he's doing, but he hasn't done one of what he doesn't know that he's doing in a really long time.
In other words, you've known what you've been doing for the last however long.
Well,
And this is the first time you don't know what you're doing. It's a matter of interpretation, Kevin.
I guess it's all in how you think about it.
We did have a request today
Yeah.
for, and if the person that made the request, do I have that? I do. Charles Wicker's ham. So Charles sent us an email the other day. It was about the Osborne 447 push beveler. And he's like, I've got one of these. For the life of me, based on other push bevelers that I've used, I cannot figure out how this is supposed to be used. Can you guys help me with that? Because I need help. I would like to use this tool that I have, but I don't know how to use it. So I went to these lovely fellas yesterday and I said, can you help me show Charles how to use this tool? And they both gave me kind of snarly faces and said, we'll see what we can do. Because neither of them love the tool.
Well, Charles, we both Kevin and I have asked the same question you're asking.
What is this and how do you use it? Maybe we should go back in time and ask the Osborne company what their goal was with this tool. But we did bring it in. Denny polished one up as much as he felt like he wanted to polish one up. And we will see what we can do. Wow, Kevin, that's fun.
Oh boy.
It's like a cloud on a jet stream.
Yeah. You know, if you don't do this every day, it takes you a little bit of, you got to get back into it.
Yeah, you got to get your mojo going.
And sometimes my mojo goes slow.
It's got the
So
slow joe.
anyway, we're gonna
We have Flow Joe and then we have Slow Joe.
That's right. And I've got plenty of the slow. So I'm gonna work on that part.
Well, maybe it's the cold that you're still recovering from.
Maybe so. I'm gonna show you how to use this stupid push beveler. And there was a reason I called it a stupid push beveler. So just wanted to let you know about that in advance.
And
I gotta have something.
Charles, we are super happy to be helping you out right now.
Yeah.
But maybe you can field some of their pain also
Well,
with
Charles,
this tool.
your confusion is not unfounded.
Your confusion
Okay.
is mutual.
I have
Oh, Denny.
played with that too. What am I doing wrong?
Denny, could you hold that in any other way?
Any other way.
There we go.
There's another way.
There's always another one.
I'm going to spend most of my time tracing this pattern because it's pretty involved. I might not get this done today.
I told you it was a lot of swirls.
Yes.
That's all right, though. Okay, so Omar asked you, Denny, how do you draw flowers without fixing the pattern onto the leather? You just hold it on with your hand.
Are you asking how do I trace a pattern without fixing it onto the leather?
Maybe. They're from not this country, so I think their English is a little bit, but that might be, he's impressed that you can just hold the pattern on.
Okay, well, this small pattern I can kind of keep track of it. A bigger pattern I will set this dead weight on it.
And you have several large dead weights that you will
Yes.
put depending on the size of your
Yeah.
project. Okay.
Yeah.
So Omar, he doesn't always do this, just sometimes.
Okay.
But also maybe if you could
Push
just come
beveler?
the right direction. No, I'm sorry, that way maybe.
We have 3 push bevelers. I want to tell you the story about
Oh, okay.
this dumb push beveler. This is the one that who's asking about this?
Charles.
Charles.
Charles, I take complete 100% blame for this.
And that's the Osborne 447.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we started Springfield Leather, one of the things we decided to do was to carry almost every single Osborne product that they offered because nobody else did. And a lot of people liked Osborne. So we bought all kinds of Osborne stuff, and we bought way too much. One of the way too much things was this push beveler. Push beveler has changed over the years from Osborne. It used to be a little bit wider and a little bit rounded. So when I looked at this thing that Denny had this morning, I'm thinking, that's not right. This is flat, and it's not as shiny and polished as it should be. So the way that you could have used a push beveler in the past was very similar to this. You could put that tool right down there in your beveled area, and you just push it along. And happy days, it bevels. But it leaves you it's more of a channel than a bevel. Now, if you put that thing point first in there, and you pull it towards you, hence becoming a pull beveler, you get a wider bevel. And that kind of works. As long as you keep this thing really, really polished.
Yeah,
Howsoever,
that's what Josh was saying. He's like, he has the same tool and also was having problems figuring it out. And he was like, I think it really needs to be smoothed out a lot when you first get it.
yeah, that's the thing. I hate to even do this.
There are very few tools that you can buy that you don't need to polish.
Well,
up
that's
and
true.
strop.
Especially when it comes to metal, tools.
Oh.
This stupid little plastic bevel blade that fits in your swivel knife, in my opinion, works just as well. And of course, it costs about $1 zillion less. It is designed mainly, as far as I'm concerned, it's just designed to speed up your work. It's really designed for some guy that's trying to do production leather work. And not everybody, very few people are trying to do production leather carving. This rather poor excuse that I've created here for a freehand Western floral thing, I'm pretty ashamed of that flower. But if you use decent leather and you've got the leather wet to the proper degree, this little bevel blade works. Now, it doesn't work as well as a tool that you hit. It just does not. That's just the way it is. But it was not designed to work as well as a tool that you hit. It was designed to make your work faster. That's all. So when you would go into a tourist place like Silver Dollar City or Dollywood or any other equivalent type of place that had a leather shop, you would always see these Mexican style Western floral tooled wallets laced up with plastic lace, and they'd have this big old pattern similar to this on there, and it's done. They have, in order to sell those for the price that they sell them for, they have to hurry when they make those things. So they would use many times something like this little bevel blade that I'm using. Other times they would hit part of it. They would use a beveling tool, come back around, and some of them would never use one of these to start with. They just use very, very large tools so that they covered a lot of ground every time they used one. And you'd very rarely ever see anything like what Denny's doing for sale in a tourist place like that. Now, there's lots of people out there that say, well, I don't want to do anything like this, like what you're doing. I don't blame you. I don't want to do anything like this either right now at this very moment. If I'm going to do leather work, I would rather to enjoy myself and create something that I really felt that I liked. I'd rather do something like what Denny's doing over there because it's kind of fun and it's not something you get to do every day. But the guy that was doing this, and at one time it was me, he was doing this and taking money and putting it in the bank. And his leather work, the type of leather work he did, it was just different. It was different than what Denny's doing. Now, Denny can put that pattern on something, and somebody will buy it, and he's made his money. That's something that he can do. But this particular thing that I'm doing, I can have the beveling done in about maybe 10 minutes, or at least I could have at one time. I don't do this for a living anymore, so it's a little hard to do a 10-minute bevel job when you're out of practice. But it could be done, and so you could make these wallets, and I was able to sell this stupid wallet for about $10. Now that is, there's another part of that story, but.
Alrighty, so while you've been jibber-jabbering over there, so this morning, I talked to Denny about this yesterday, and he said, yep, we'll work on it. So he went and got one of these push bevelers, And he went to use it this morning, and he's like, nope, it's not usable how it comes because it needs to be polished. And so he polished one, and then I have one that is just straight off the rack. And so, over here. And so what we've got here is this one here has been polished. This one has not. So you can kind of see this one has been polished. This one is straight off the rack. So it's hard to see, but it's just covered. There's like all sorts of lines across.
Little grind marks.
Yep, grind marks all the way across this where they've cut it off.
And the edge is sharp.
Yeah, exactly. And so like somebody said, it was far too sharp. So you need to polish this until it's smooth and then kind of round over those edges, because just like you literally want to drag this through your leather. So you're going to put it on your leather and you're going to drag it across. So if you do that with the tool like this, it's just going to cut the top of your leather, and it's not actually going to do what you want it to do. So
Well,
yes.
You can't control it either.
Yeah, it catches, it digs in and catches.
Yeah, so you need to do some work to it to polish it up and round off those edges until you get to this point here.
And that's another
This is what
thing.
you're going to get.
They call it a push beveler, but you about have to pull it.
Yeah, that's.
Instead of pushing.
I was going to say that was pretty much the only way that you were happy using it is when you were pulling it towards you.
Yeah.
That's a really.
You see, I got a camera sitting in the way.
So really, in all truth, we probably just should not have bought that tool from Osborne in the first place, because they didn't make it very friendly.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we did.
I would imagine originally it was designed a little bit different than what it's
Well, it was.
evolutionized into.
That's
Well,
why I was surprised when I came back there and talked to you and looked at that thing, and I thought, huh?
So this was on YouTube. We've got this guy HD Scouter, which I wonder is if that's our guy. I don't know if you're our guy, Charles, but it looks. This person actually contacted CS Osborne to ask them how it was supposed to be used, and their answer was it's used for tooling on leather.
Well, and that's the thing. Kevin was talking about that this morning. A lot of the old time, not only tool makers but craftsmen who designed all these tools aren't in existence anymore.
They're just gone.
Yeah, and the tool companies, they don't have anyone to rely on as far as how to use these tools, what they're used for. So the tool companies, they might have a blueprint of what to make, but they don't know how to finish that tool. And I think that's a big problem.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things, when you think about stamping tools, when Craft Tool used to really make decent tools, the factory had one tool that was the standard. You know, that was the standard for that tool. And then the other camouflage tool or whatever, they had one for that one and one for this one and one for that one. And they were individually hand ground. So they always had a pattern, a sample to work from. But over the years, that one sample would get lost and it would get replaced with another one that wasn't quite identical, or somebody would steal one of the originals, believe that or not. And so they would have to come up with another one. And over time, those tools changed, as any older leather crafter would know. Craft tools changed drastically.
Yeah. Plus what you were saying, each one was handmade at that time. And
Yeah.
nowadays to get an affordable tool, you aren't going to get a handmade tool. You're going to get a cast type tool.
That's right.
You know, if you want a really fine handmade tool, you're going to be paying, let's say $45 to $50 a crack per tool. I mean, and that's a round figure. Some are more, some are less. Depends on who you buy them from. But if you buy, like the tools that we sell off the rack, or from a company that we can get them by the 1,000 or by the 100, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so we can get a price and pass that on to you. But those are like entry level type tools. If you're wanting a fine tool, it's going to cost a lot more money.
That's just the way it is. You know, there's...
And I also kind of think at some point, you know, Osborne may have been attempting to step into the tooling realm more than what their normal tools are with this particular one.
Right.
And so they may have been trying something that was maybe better left to like the beveler that you're using now, or the plastic push beveler, which maybe wasn't a thing when they first designed their tool, you know?
Yeah.
So they were stepping into a version, but if they're not toolers, then maybe it wasn't ideal.
If you don't know how to use a tool, it's hard to make one that's usable.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Really, for what I'm doing, this leather should have been glued, taped on the back. I didn't tape it, and there's a reason.
Because I didn't bring you any?
No,
Okay.
yeah, it's all your fault.
Whew.
I forgot to mention that.
that it's her fault.
It's her fault, yeah. But that's okay. A lot of this stuff, well, what I'm doing here is, this is not what anybody would remotely call professional leather work. I certainly wouldn't.
Professional, Kevin.
Well, it is what it is. That I can tell you. And that's okay.
Let's see here. So kind of we'll switch topics now. Talked about the beveler a lot. I think you got to get a really good polish on it, and then it still just may not be ideal for whatever it is that you're doing. Like, maybe it's not the best tool created for the job.
That's right.
But that's all right. Maybe find a different way, something that you like to use it for. Denny uses all sorts of tools, not how they were intended to be used.
That's right. And it shows.
A lot of people do that, actually.
Yeah. Denny's he's got a beveler that's too wide. He's going to grind it down. He's going to make it narrower. He's got a tool that's almost right, but he doesn't quite love it. He's going to fix it. He's going to, him and that grinder are good friends. Every day he's over there doing something.
I'm over there tearing something up.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
Can you maybe look at the screen and try to be in screen? There you go. Perfect.
I can zoom out a little bit.
Okay. Okay, so switching over here, we had Kent with a question for finishes. So he's having an issue when he goes to he goes to finish his project after he's antiqued it, and he's wiping out a bunch of the antique. But that's why we always suggest to use a spray antique or a spray finish for your last finish. Otherwise, I guess like dry time. Like if you just have to use some sort of a wipe-on finish, like...
Well, you know, wipe-on's what always used to be used before good spray.
Before aerosols?
Spray type came into existence. You know, the thing is, if you're going to wipe it on, you don't want to sit there and just scrub it.
Yeah.
You want to wipe it on there and wipe your streaks off and quit.
Yeah, you have to be really careful when anytime you're wiping on leather.
So maybe use more of a dry sponge to put it on with, something that's got some rigidity so that you're not digging into those grooves.
Well, I always use a piece of sheepskin.
Okay.
I clip the sheepskin off where it's a nice
works
even
better.
nap, and soak your sheepskin, wipe it on there, go in a circular motion, and then wipe your streaks off and just quit.
You're gonna get some help.
You want to have plenty on your applicator to begin with, so
Okay.
you don't have to keep dipping and wiping and dip and wipe. You want to put it on there and smooth it out and quit.
Okay. And how long would you let your antique dry or rest for?
Till it's dry. If it looks wet,
Don't do it.
It is wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe give yourself a little bit of extra time if you don't have an option that's not an aerosol.
Yeah.
And at this point, Denny pretty much quick shines everything at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So if you do have that option, it is nice because then you don't have to wipe anything on. But if you do want to use a wipe on, make sure that antique is dry.
Yeah. I mean, it used
And then
to
you
be,
don't have too many puddles. You don't want puddly antique.
Right.
Because then that's gonna come out whenever you go to wipe your thing, and it's gonna bring all the antique with it because it's a nice and dry puddle now.
Yeah, when I antique, I generally spread it on there very liberally where it just looked like goop,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and make sure I get it down in all the cuts and tool marks. And then take a paper towel and fold it and wipe.
And wipe.
And I wipe until there's no streaks. And then I will take a piece of clipped sheepskin again and lightly go over it and wipe out the puddles. You will have a lot of puddles settled down in your, like, pear shading marks and stuff. You will have big puddles of that antique. But if you take that sheepskin, it will kind of drag some of those out. But you don't want, there again, you don't want to scrub on it. You aren't trying to take all your antique off. You're just trying to get rid of those puddles. After that, take your flat paper towel and wipe it off again until there's no streaks. Let it dry.
Let it dry.
But those, if you leave those puddles in there, they're going to take a long time to dry. Plus, it's just going to be a block of that to the antique paste. You don't want to just leave a pool of it. You know? You want it just to be covering your features.
Let's hear it.
The
Go ahead.
antiques today have gotten so much better. Man, they're so much easier to use.
Yeah. You know, and I like the antique gels.
Yeah.
Because they are so simple to use. You don't have to dig in the jar to get it out. But there again, if you don't have your a good resist on, it will penetrate that resist and actually color your leather. So
Yeah, we discovered that a few weeks ago.
yeah. And I've used antiques and resists for years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I just came upon something that wasn't working.
Yeah.
It just stopped working, so I changed my attitude.
Oh my goodness, Tony! Somebody reminded me that we forgot to hang up our trading card panel.
All right.
Why don't we throw it on the front of the table? Not that you could see the front of the table all the time, but if you throw it on the front of the table, at least when we go to the big one. Have we put grommets in it yet?
I don't know.
I don't think that we have. Thanks. I think it was Jim. I feel like that's the name I remember seeing.
It wasn't on purpose.
It wasn't on purpose. We
You don't have that great big old honking flat backgrounder that you use sometimes, do you?
Oh no,
That bubbly one?
Oh no.
That's
oh
all right.
no! Do you want me to go get it, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know the one.
The big pebbles.
Yeah, the big
with the
bubble,
flat side.
bubble
and then
wrap
it's like
looking
half
deal.
round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that little tool.
I do too.
Sometimes I kind of get on a kick and start using the tool a lot until I just get tired of it. And right now I'm on using that tool a lot.
I don't blame you. I like it too. So,
Kevin, we got a question. What's your specialty in leather? We know Denny was a saddle maker, so what's your specialty?
well, my specialty was figure carving, pictorial carving. I like to do the stuff like Jim Linnell was doing. I did a lot of that when I was starting out. And people would bring me a picture of their dog or cat or whatever. That's kind of what I did. All kinds of pictures. Thank you. I've still got some hanging around the store, I think.
Yeah. Did people bring you their fish that they caught for you to do?
Nope.
You did that yourself.
That I did. I liked fish. I really enjoyed that. And I made a ton of knife sheaths and holsters and stuff like that. I learned how to make them all wrong, you know. I learned how to make them backwards and make left-handed ones when they should have been right-handed ones.
Are we talking about Kevin's specialties? Kevin likes to buy and sell leather.
Yeah, that's the specialty. I was going to say.
That's his specialty. And rolling it up in bundles.
Well,
Denny, are you just trying to hide from the camera, or what are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're doing a great job.
Where am I at here?
Right there. You're good.
You're asking
stop
the
moving.
wrong
You're
person.
you went too far. Okay, there you go. It's overcorrection.
Try to get the split screen all set up so you got just a little pane to be in.
It is a little pain.
That's what people say about me.
No, and you're back.
I'm back again.
My wife uses the word pain, but it's never with little in front of it.
It's usually the first word.
Are you a big pain?
Well, I probably could be. You know, if you're being honest about everything, I guess I have to see.
Be honest about that.
Yeah.
And we've got Vanessa. She's out in the field today trying to repair some broken, rotten poles in her fence. And she says that she's got blistery cold wind. And then her post hole, was it your post hole digger or was it your like
She must
chopper
be up
broke?
in the Dakotas.
She says it's pretty terrible.
My friend in South Dakota sent me a picture the other day. He had a 3-foot drift on his back deck.
Ooh.
Wow.
Then his friend across the street had a 6-foot one in front of his driveway.
Wyoming's getting a lot of snow.
Well, they deserve it, I think. Anything that's that far north ought to have a lot of snow.
You earned it.
Oh, he didn't say earned. He said deserved.
Yeah, that was probably a little unkind, but
Notice how I looked up at the screen.
Good job.
Where I
I'm
was.
so proud of you.
normally, I really like this little bubbly thing because it requires so little skill, I guess.
Oh, it's a good record. Check out what Denny did on this drum dyed piece of Herman oak. They brought us down this green side, which I believe is the same leather that we used for that bowling ball bag, wasn't it?
Quite possibly, yeah.
And so he tooled this the other day just to see if it would carve, and it did. It's not struck through.
Oh, it carves beautifully.
Yeah, look how awesome that is.
It cuts nicer than any leather I've cut in a long, long while.
So anyways, so he just doodled this on a little neck piece of the hide. And I said, well, Denny, why don't you just cut that out and we'll make it a trading card?
So are they going to start producing green skirting now, or what?
I think they already do.
Or harness, or whatever that was?
I think it's skirting. It was like
I think it is.
12,
I think it's skirting.
12, 14 ounce, maybe. But it cut beautifully.
I wouldn't mind if we carried some green skirting. I don't know how many people want to buy green skirting, but I think that's pretty. And they make it their perfect, like, Herman oak green. It really is quite lovely.
I made a belt with that same stuff and antiqued it in black. It turned out really nice, except it's green. It's really dark now. But in certain light,
Thanks.
Sure. In certain light, it will really look good, I think.
Keith, do you get a lot of snow down in Florida?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I'm blurry.
You're super blurry.
Well,
I'm kind of moving around with the end of his, catching the end of his ball.
Mm. That's too much snow. Hopefully, I think this weekend's supposed to be nice, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so if those of you, if there are some of you out there in the audience or people watching this video that maybe wouldn't have watched our roundtable video on Wednesday, and you haven't heard the most exciting news of the month of February, we have booked Ed LaBar to come in and do 3 classes at the end of April. So, if you would like to sign up, if you're in the area or you want to try to drive, we will have a beginner's class on Monday and Tuesday, the 17th and the 18th of April. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, there will be an advanced, two kind of advanced or just people that have been tooling classes available for 1 day each. This Sunday, our newsletter will be going out, and it will have the information and the sign-up sheet. Or have they made a post about it yet, Tony, on Facebook?
It'll be on the newsletter. I don't know how we go.
Okay.
Post on Facebook.
Okay, it'll be in the newsletter, so check that out. You can sign up. Each class has between 10 and 12 students that you will be accepting for the classes. And then that Friday, we will be doing a live stream with Ed here. So super excited about that. We tried to get him in a couple years ago, and then there was like weather that moved through Georgia, and there was flooding, and it wasn't good. So he wasn't able to come. But we got it all worked out. Hopefully no weather situations will occur, and he will be here. So super exciting.
There you go. There's the trading card on the table.
So these are the ones, either ones that we have made or ones that you guys have sent us.
Okay, there's my wallet. I'm done.
You can't be done yet, Kevin. You have to start another one.
That's so
Well-
fast. Look, now you have time to do an actual
The
trading.
reason that I did this was to just basically give an example of what production leather work is, and I went further than normal because if I was doing that for money, like when I was trying to do a bunch of them and get off the ground and get somebody to buy something, I would not have put in all that background. I would have had that done in between 10 and 15 minutes. I don't know how much time I put into that, but
I'm going to say that you've got about 30 minutes in this.
okay, well, it solved a problem for me back in the day because when I was able to sell that to Silver Dollar City, and it was complete, yeah, the stupid thing was all done. I sold it for $10. They were able to sell that finished wallet for $25 to $30.
This is the backgrounder.
I'm happy. And you know,
PA005. PA005. There's
So-
3 different sizes.
the thing about it was that once they had that and they could sell it, they started coming to me asking, Kevin, is there anything you can do besides Western floral carving? Huh. I said, yes, there is. And that's when I stamped a deer with a fence and a cabin on it that would take me 60 seconds. And the money was there when I made those wallets back in the day. And then they said, well, a lot of people don't like that lacing around the edge. I said, well, gosh, that's just terrible. How about if I just sew it? The price will be the same. And so that worked for me. And the point I want to make is that you do what you got to do to get the business that you need to get. Mm-hmm. And once you've got it, you do your best to keep it, adjust it to where you can make a profit or money, and go from there. And that's what this did for me. It was a long time ago. And I did put my little initials on there, which are quite easy to see because it looks like a big old gigantic mistake. And there you go. Somebody can have a wallet.
Sweet. Well, somebody tool us up a wallet back and send it in, and we'll trade you for Kevin's wallet back.
Or we can just glue that to an interior, and I'll guarantee you somebody will buy it.
It is. So, I mean, if we could put this on a wallet. If you were doing it to put on a wallet, I assume that you would have taken the time to tape the back of it.
Well, yeah, and I would have been a lot more careful, too.
Yeah.
But, it's not like I do leather work every day for a living. I don't.
He just does it the once a month I make him in here.
Yeah,
that.
plus when you're in here, you're trying to talk about one thing and do something else, and
It's
for my feeble little mind, that's pretty.
Anyway, I sure do like that piece of leather you got me. That was nice. And cut real well.
How about you take one of these and do a little doodle? You should do another bird. I don't think we have your bird anymore.
I haven't done that bird since the last bird I did, and I aggravate myself because I never make myself happy with that bird.
Well, but the thing is, Kevin, it always looks really good and everyone loves it.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter if you're happy. Just be miserable and do a bird. Okay.
Well, I will do a little Tweety Bird.
Tweety Bird, yeah.
Let's see.
Remember Tweety Bird?
You should do a Tweety Bird. Denny like dangled it as a thing that he might do, and then he said, "No, just kidding."
And I was just kidding.
I'm still telling. That really looks pretty.
Look at that. You're
Oh
getting
my
there.
gosh, that's way too much work. That's
Nope, this way.
Well,
that's
Ellen-
really gorgeous.
Ellen brought in a book she got on metal engraving, like silversmith engraving
Yeah.
and gun engraving. And I thought, wow, I wonder what I could do something similar. So this was my attempt at it. And the first one actually turned out fairly well, but it doesn't look like metal engraving.
Let's see.
Which
Oh,
way
yeah.
do I turn? Yeah. There we go.
Nope. Okay.
But it's kind of neat. I kind of enjoyed doing it. But it is a lot of lines. When you see it all finished, you think, well, that wasn't too bad.
Well, okay, so Michael had an interesting conundrum here, and I don't really know how to answer him. So he says he typically has an issue that he feels like if he doesn't tape the wallet back, it shrinks after it dries. And
Well, then he's using too much water or hot water, and that shouldn't be.
okay, so Michael, are you like soaking your leather, or you're using hot water? Because typically the reason that you tape the back is so that it doesn't expand, so it doesn't get bigger. Because whenever you're tooling, you displace or you condense and push the leather out. So typically you have the opposite issue.
One way to combat that is make your border bigger than it needs to be, and after you're all done tooling, if you feel like it's stretched some, you can still cut it off to size and be in good shape.
Yeah.
Randy, I don't think we lost any cards.
Well,
How's Tweety coming?
slow but sure.
I would love to be able to tool that bird.
Well, I'm sure you could.
I don't know. I've tried a lot of things that didn't work out too well.
Well, so have I. This bird. But that's
That's not where that goes.
That's not where it goes. How's that?
That's much better.
Now I forgot where I was.
You're in the
Oh,
studio.
there I am. Oh, in the studio. All right.
Randy, we got these. You sent us 2, right? Or wait, there's a 3. This is also you. I've got 3 of yours, Randy.
Yeah.
I got them all. I collected them all. We got this one. And we got this one. And we got this one.
Yeah, we've had a few messages from people out
Yeah.
in Prescott getting the SLC coffee.
I know. Everybody really appreciates our SLC coffee out in Prescott. Prescott, like the biscuit. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
That's like calling Tucson Tucson.
Tuesday?
The Tuesday.
Where you at, again?
Oh, it's going on right now.
Yes.
What's going on right now?
The Prescott Leather Show.
Oh,
We got some people that were there this morning.
Yep, and yesterday.
I can't keep track of all that stuff.
Sheridan, I think Rusty. Who else going to Sheridan this year?
Myself, Chris, and Chad and Brandon. So if anybody out there wants to see Captain No Fun one more time, we conned him into going to Sheridan with us. I think he will be doing another Glowforge presentation. Hey, Tony, could you find the number to the plastic beveler? And put it on Facebook.
You know those plastic bevelers? That's one of those things that's
Look at that.
I don't know what they cost,
Right,
$3 or $4 or
15
whatever.
He said you got 15 minutes.
One of those things that everybody ought to have in their leather drawer.
Yeah, they're really pretty cheap. Couple bucks.
Because they don't cost much, and when you want one, you really want it bad. And that might take you 10 years to really want one.
To one.
550.
Okay.
$5.50.
424.
What's the number?
Craftsman push beveler. 011-43.
011-43. Jeff, thanks for commenting. I do not believe that we will have a booth.
Nope.
No, we'll probably just,
What's just there?
just walking around, and then
Thanks for the follow, Shock.
we'll have the class, the Glowforge class. But you'll see us. Or you'll hear me. I hear that's one of my traits. Is you typically hear me before you see me.
You're audible.
Yeah.
Well, you could have worse problems.
Well, I appreciate that, Kevin.
It's nice to know when you're coming because that gives a person time to get out of the way.
That is true. I'm a fast walker. People typically get out of my way. They hear me coming, and then they step to the side.
That usually happens when I have to go to gathering. Like, I'll just move to the side. You can go, Tony.
You are a fast walker, Tony.
Thank you.
Tried to follow you before.
It was more like catching up instead of following.
Yeah, well, I decided, shoot, I don't even care. I'm not following him.
He'll be back soon.
Heath, what are you talking about? Are you talking about the bevelers? What was your question? What is they?
What are they used for? What is they used for?
I'll tell you what, and that brings up something I meant to say when we were talking about them earlier.
The push bevelers?
Yeah.
Okay.
The best purpose that I can think of for them would be to bevel the border on a belt.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's long,
Straight.
laborious.
Well, that and a long straight
Very
border
cool,
on a wall.
Yeah,
Like
true,
they did.
true.
Yeah.
That'd be quite a trip all the way to Sheridan from Florida, where it doesn't snow this year.
Heath, yes, it does. It fits into the swivel knife, so you use it with your swivel knife, and then it has a beveling edge, and you just pull it. So it's not something that you hit. You just make sure your leather has the right moisture content, and then you pull it along your swivel knife cut.
Somewhere towards the beginning of the video, Kevin uses it. So
Kevin uses
once
it
we're
to.
done, you can go back and check it out.
Yeah, he pretty much beveled his whole wallet back with the plastic beveler.
Well, I did. I didn't use anything else. You know,
Well, I think one line you used the Osborne one, and then you gave up.
well, actually, I don't have a problem with that. Let's see. Let's see if we can't just put that Osborne one into good use here for a moment.
What's your guys' favorite finish for a belt?
Nothing.
You don't like to put a finish on a belt?
No, it's just the easiest, and I don't have to do anything. I just spray it. As far as favorite goes, I probably am thinking along the lines of Denny. I like the antiques because they'd always look good.
Oh, no. I think they
I'm
mean
talking
like,
about, like your
yeah,
finish,
like what's your
acrylic
final?
finish.
Oh, final finish?
Mhm.
I tend to use quick shine pretty much mostly. You'll hand me that little pushy thing.
Little pushy, there's the one that's polished, the polished pushy.
The usable one.
Okay. We're going to do the pushy, sort of. I'm probably going to...
Tan coat isn't a really great finish. Like it's a good product to put on, like, you know, soft leather goods or a jacket or something that needs to kind of be
You know,
zhuzhed up.
tan coat has its place.
Yeah.
But it's not much of a finish.
Right.
You know, it's not. It doesn't have a lot of protective properties. I remember tooling a bag one time many years ago before I really had any knowledge of these finishes, and I put tan coat on there because that's what the guy at the leather store told me to do, and I carried it outside to the car, and a drop of rain fell on it, and there was a splotch. That was it.
Yeah.
Raindrop, spot, no more tan coat for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of water resistant capabilities, but like we took, you know, like these stools that we sit on back here we use tan coat on the stools, and it does a nice job of just kind of adding a nice sheen to it. It makes it feel good. I feel like it conditions a little bit if it can like penetrate the leather. It's got waxes in it. Am I correct?
Where am I?
Over there it is.
I don't know if you can see the border,
Look at your cute little bird.
but the border had the push beveler used. So,
Very nice.
you know, it works. It's not...
He did pull it. He did pull the push.
I did pull the push thing.
And it kind of looks like a prison shank when you're using it. Like full fist.
Yeah, it will make it, sure.
You pretty well versed on that?
Yeah. I have a lot of experience with that.
Old prison champ.
I did visit the Springfield FedMed one time with Rusty. We went and we judged their craft fair. That was quite the experience.
You see anyone get shanked?
I did not see. Everyone was very well behaved. It's intimidating to walk into a prison.
So that's...
You're still over there. Over there. That's your camera. There you are.
So that's the difference. I just ran the steep beveler over...
Oh, we can't see you anymore.
Oh gosh,
There
this
it
is
is.
complicated. I ran a steep beveler over that part.
Oh, yeah, that does look a lot better.
Well, it doesn't. It is what it is. Push beveler's made to help you hurry.
Yep.
We should scan in Kevin's bird, and that could be one of our giveaway patterns.
And get...
Everybody should attempt to tool a Kevin bird. And we should all share pictures of
Well, someday
Kevin birds.
I will take it upon myself to do one as it should be done. And that would
Right.
be nice.
Well, you know, the last Friday of every month, you have a whole hour to do one as it should be done.
Yeah. That means I got to practice
Well, you just have to prepare yourself, Kevin.
mentally. That's what I've got to
Mentally,
do.
yes.
You know, I wonder, if I can make this thing look any better.
So would you use a swivel knife, then the push beveler? Correct. Yeah, Heath, you still have to cut in your border. You still have to cut in your line. And then you're either going to you could use the Osborne one if you want, or you can get the little plastic push beveler. So in lieu of using an actual beveler, then you use the plastic or the Osborne or whatever you want to use to bevel your line after you cut it.
Yeah, got to do that. Some parts you can't get away from.
Liz throws all this stuff out like, we'll just scan it in. Get it all on the internet. Then it falls to me to do it.
Yep.
Yep.
Listen, you make me do silly things all the time.
You mean like redeem all the sips? I
Like
think I got
redeem all the sips.
it. Hey, you know what? I have unlimited bones on Twitch.
Cool.
You know what that means?
No problem. No problem, Charles. You got to spend a little time polishing it.
Yeah, if you polish that up, it will work.
Yeah, and if you want a nice little, a channel pushed into your leather, then that's pretty good.
Would you apply a spray finish over the boa skin that is glued to the belt blank? Oh, yeah. Exotics are always fun. Especially snake. Snake is probably the worst exotic. What else has scales?
Fish.
Thanks.
My brother-in-law.
No. Real scaly guy. Oh, look, Glenn, somebody redeemed all the sips.
Springfield Leather Co.
I wonder who that is.
I wonder what that is.
I wouldn't spray over snakeskin scales.
Yeah, how would you guys finish? If you were going to do snake, what would you do?
It's already finished.
Yeah, it's a finished leather.
It's done.
It's the same as when people say, okay, I've got this piece of upholstery. What kind of finish should I put on it? Upholstery is a finished leather.
It's done.
Yeah. If you want to put some conditioner on there, some Big Four, some Lexol, that's fine. That's happy.
Yeah, but as far as a finish, it's
It
doesn't
already
need
got
one.
a finish.
Yeah.
Oh. There's a hydrant. Everybody got something to drink? Everybody looks like they're a little part.
Look, we do all have our cups.
Luna wanted to leave the room, so she can't have a treat right yet.
Let's see here. Thomas asked, what weight are the mauls that you're using? Or I have a maul here and I have a mallet over there.
This is about a 9 ounce.
Yeah. That's
Okay. So
nothing
9 ounce
small.
poly mallet. Does it say on the butt there with the sticker?
It says mallet, poly. Oh, it does say 9 ounce.
There it is. Okay.
Good job.
Good guess.
And this, our friend Ed Labar
That's
made this
right.
one for me, and it's a 15 ounce. It's even marked on the end. It says 1.5. That's how I know.
He labels his stuff too.
Yes.
Look at him go. Is that SLC coffee?
Well,
Get on the sandpaper and polish. In the meantime, for long lines, I'll stick to my Berry King. Oh, he just hated having a tool that he didn't know how to use. We hear that.
oh, for the push beveler.
This guy. Mm-hmm.
Well, don't feel bad. I got a ton of them that I don't know how to use.
Yeah.
At home, I got a big old tool rack, I don't know how to put half of them things together. I'd have to sit down and work at it for a while.
You're welcome, Ralph.
Yeah, one of the guys that took my class last week came in with a set of Osborne wing dividers. And Osborne wing dividers are great. They're a lifetime tool. But it was all unscrewed and in pieces. And I guess it's one of the bigger ones. And I guess that's how we sell them in the package, because they won't go in the package when they're all put together.
Well, let's see what you got here.
I spent 20 minutes trying to put his wing dividers together.
Oh, goodness.
That's all you get today, folks.
You know what, Denny? You got most of it done.
I got it beveled and backgrounded.
Yep. So now he'll just have to do his fun things.
Yeah.
But look at that. Look at that bird. Did you
Yeah,
sign it,
well,
Kevin? Can we
flying
find
in.
Kevin's signature?
Flying
Pretty
into
slowly.
a window. Whoa.
I love that bird.
Let me move my fingers out of the way.
I hear a stomach growling. Somebody says it's time for lunch.
It is time for lunch.
Is it down at the very tail?
What?
Your signature.
I didn't put it on there.
Well, for Pete's sakes!
You could say yeah.
I asked
Yeah,
one
can't
thing
you
of
see
you.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can't see that?
Dang, I wish I would have said that.
It's on there. Just try to find it.
It's like, where's Waldo?
All right, I'm going to put mine on before I
All right.
stamp it in.
Thank you, sir.
Now it's on there. I hope you're happy.
Thank you. I am.
And I thank everybody for putting up with
Are you running away?
me and Liz and Denny, and of course they're easy to put up with. I'm a little more challenging.
You are a challenge sometimes.
I know that.
Sometimes after that 7-day week in Tucson, I'm like, man, if I give Kevin any more crap, he's gonna fire me.
Wait, you can't have that feeling every day?
No, it really builds up after 7 days of breakfast, lunch, and dinner with a person.
You know, nobody has that worry around here with me because
You don't do that.
I have told you before, I dish it out. And so I have come to grips with the fact that I need to be able to take it.
That is true. He is a really good. He's a good sport with it. We have fun. So, alrighty, guys, it was a great time with you. Once again, if you're not signed up for our Springfield Leather newsletter, go to our website, sign up for that. On Sunday when it goes out, we will have all the Ed LeBar class information on there with sign-up spots. He has 3 classes, so it's really like a total of 32 students total for the whole week. He takes 10 to 12 students per class. So kind of get in. We'll get your information. We'll start reaching out to you guys about that. So first come, first serve with that situation. We look forward to seeing all of you here in April for Ed. And we hope you guys have a really wonderful weekend.
The Sienna oil
Screwed
thing,
up
get
my
my word on
flour.
that. We put in an order, 2 months ago, and I think we're still waiting.
Did a little more.
Yes, so we received the other things.
Yeah,
Sorry, we
flour,
received the other things off of the PO, but that hasn't come yet. So we need to reach out to the vendor and see why or how much longer it's going to be back ordered for. But I did make it that far before live shopping yesterday.
All right, say bye, Denny.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye, Denny.